Susanne Atanus is running for Congress. She's in Illinois, and she's in a Republican primary. Now, she's so crazy that it seems like obviously she has no chance of winning. She has said some things that are fairly outrageous. First, let me give you some of those. She said, I'm not in favor of abortions. I'm not in favor of gay rights. Now, that's not outrageous. It's wrong, and I vehemently disagree. She'll probably lose in this district represented by Jan Schakowsky, who's considerably progressive, one of the few strong progressives in Congress. But that doesn't outrage anybody, those statements. Well, she went on to say, God is angry. We are provoking him with abortions and same-sex marriage and civil unions. Okay, now we're getting into cuckoo land. And when we fully enter it, when she says same-sex activity is going to increase AIDS, it's in our military, it will weaken our military, we need to respect God. Oh boy. What else does God do? Well, she explains, everybody knows that God controls weather. Indeed. And it turns out that, according to her, once again, God is super angry. Okay. So what are the other punishments that God has given us because he's angry at us for the gays and abortion? Tornadoes, obviously, autism, and dementia. So obviously, this lunatic has lost, right? Wrong. She won her Republican primary. She won. 54% of the vote, and she will now be running for Congress, United States Congress in Illinois. Okay, now, if you think we took those quotes out of context, let me give you the full quotes from her own mouth. This was in a debate that she was having with another Republican.
Well, I am a conservative Republican, God first, all right? We've had an increase in diseases. We have floods, we have droughts, we have plagues. We never heard the term Arctic vortex. 16 years ago, we never would have heard autism. We never would have heard about dementia, macular degeneration. And God says, if you pray and you humble yourself, I will heal the land. The weather is terrible. 24 tornadoes in one day. And so I am a God first conservative Republican.
So you think some of those things are really ordained by God? I mean,
God controls the weather, all right? He certainly has his hand on his people. Yes, I believe that
so why
the righteous will.
Why is God doing that?
God is angry. We are provoking him. We are provoking him with abortions. We are provoking him with same-sex marriage, gay rights, civil unions. But I don't want that to be the predominant theme in your newspaper article about me. I am a very smart, economist-thinking woman.
An economist-thinking woman? If you were going to claim you're really smart, I'm not sure that's what I would have followed it up with. And you know you're not in good shape when you have to remind people, listen, I'm very smart. Perhaps you were a little worried that you sounded stupid when you said God controls the weather and he was mad at us for abortions and gay rights, and that's why he gave us autism and tornadoes in Oklahoma. Remember, tornadoes ripped apart Oklahoma, so why was God so angry at Oklahoma, one of the reddest states in the country? Well, I don't want to question this brilliant economist-thinking woman. She won the Republican primary. Okay, now, there might have been a second reason, to be fair, as to why she won. She was running against David Earl Williams III, who in the debate with her, as she was saying this nonsense, and it's hard to not roll your eyes at this, but might have gone a step too far in rolling his eyes. Let's take a look at David Earl Williams III and see if it gives us a sense of why he might not have been the best candidate.
I have been talking to her for 4 years. I call her office many times about this issue. I also contact other politicians about this and have talked to them. That means, by her saying she doesn't want to get rid of the S&P, Dow Jones, and NASDAQ indexes, that is ripping off Robin and draining the middle class. That means she is in favor of having the 1% getting richer and richer. Whereas in the presidents that we have had. All right? And it's so serious that there never was, just like there's never a down day, there never was a stock market crash either. There was severe selling that day, but never a stock market crash. And they told all the people, don't go to the bank. The bank had no money, when the vaults were full of money. Then they took it a step further to take over everything. And in 2-3 years, health insurance before Obamacare, they don't have money for health insurance now. I don't know how they're going to come up with over $300 for coverage for their family. All right, but not to have the government require a marriage, because that's what the insurance companies require. All right? It is so important that everyone and every family does well.
I'm taking it that David Earl Williams did not go to a debating coach before that debate. Remember when George H.W. Bush lost the debate, so they claimed, because he looked at his watch, like he had better places to go? He certainly looked like he had better places to go, and he wanted to talk to the guy at the back of the room a lot more than he wanted to have a debate with her.